there, and welcome to the Animag podcast.
Hey, and welcome back to the #1 podcast in anime, baby. This is Animag, and I'm your host, Asylum, sitting here with...
Thomacus.
Whoa! Dude, you actually did it, like...
On point.
On time. Didn't make anybody wait. That is rare, folks. That is very rare.
Very rare. I'm going to shoot for 2 seconds next time.
Good God. I think you probably got 2 seconds this time. So, as promised, we decided to not be lazy, and we're jumping into Orange, Season 1, Episode 1. The title is Letter 1. That's a lot of ones.
Yeah, that's a lot of ones. I wonder if people actually thought we were going to do the whole season, like what we usually do.
Probably so, but that format is kind of stressful, you know?
Yeah, I think it would be better like with per episode because people actually get one podcast every week.
Yeah, and it spreads it out. It gives us a lot more content.
We're doing the same for Rent a Girlfriend. Instead of waiting for the whole season to finish, we're going to jump right in to the episode. Now, I don't know if it's going to be on every Sunday. I don't know which day it's going to start for Rent a Girlfriend.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it's just weekly. Like, obviously it's going to be weekly, but I'm hoping that they're going to come out every week with no pauses.
Hopefully it's every Sunday and not like every Thursday, because if that would happen, then we would have to hurry up.
We'll have to change the release for it because we like to put them out on Fridays. But obviously, if it's coming out on Thursday, dude, we'd have to hammer that shit.
Yeah.
And I don't see that happening. Right now, we're trying to record on Tuesdays, so it gives me enough time to edit and have everything up by Friday. So let's stop diddle-dallying. Diddle-dallying?
Diddle-daddling.
Diddle-dall. Let's stop diddling around. Here's episode 1 of Orange. It was pretty good, man. It wasn't like that exciting of an episode, but it was enough to keep me interested in wanting to watch the rest, I guess.
Exactly. Like this, I fell in love because it's not like Masamune-kun's Revenge where, okay, he's just out for revenge and he could just do that in one episode. Well, in this one, they have to follow the events up until the last event that happens in the letter.
See, and I don't find that they explain that enough in episode 1, because obviously you see that she gets a letter from her past self or her future self. Yeah, she gets a letter from her future self, but they don't really explain all of that. They just leave it to you.
They explain that later.
Okay, but for me, that needs to be explained in episode 1 so I know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, that's later on, because we're going to talk about that later on.
Here's the thing, is that Thomacus knows exactly what's going to happen because he read the manga.
But it was different in anime. Like,
it's not that different, bro. 6 minutes into this anime, and the only difference that I really spotted was that they showed her parents a little bit. Other than that... And the time capsule, because they don't...
Time capsule. They show that later on.
Other than that, word for word and literally image for image, it's identical.
Wait, didn't they do, like, towards the end of, I don't know if you read the manga, but towards the end, they showed the future self talking.
Yeah, when she's on the hill.
No, they did show.
I didn't read that much of the manga. Quite honestly, I got, like, kind of up to the part where they were going to take the new guy out to get some bread, and then I was like, yeah, this is kind of boring, and gave up. But the show puts a good spin on it, makes it enjoyable to watch. So we got 7 characters that we're going to be focusing on. Really and truly in episode 1, there's only 2 that are important. There's going to be another one that I'll say is kind of important, but she's really not. Her family has a bread shop, so I thought that was important to note. But I didn't write her name down. We got Naho. She's going to be the main character, and we got Kakeru. He's a new transfer student who comes into town.
From Tokyo?
Yeah, from Tokyo. Whatever train he took from Tokyo to wherever they are is the name of the bread girl, I think.
I believe that's, her name is Azusa, I believe.
Here's the thing. By episode 2 of this podcast for this series, I'm going to have all the names written down so we know how to say them correctly. I don't know if old Thomacus is going to do us any justice here. What about this intro song? You like this intro song?
Like right now, at the start, I was like, ugh. But then like later on in the intro, it's like, oh my god, this is actually pretty good.
When it kicks in, it's not too bad. Currently, I'm going to give the intro a 5 out of 10. There's a chance that it could grow on me. I see that. Happening. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So obviously not much happens like we said. In episode 1, basically the new guy comes into town and everyone's like, oh shit, the letter that she got from her future self is like, don't take this guy out with y'all. But
Yes.
she does it anyways.
She does it anyway because she was like, oh, there's no harm in inviting the guy.
Right.
What's the worst that can happen?
They're just going out to get bread. What's the big fucking deal, you know?
You'll find out.
I'll find out eventually. And they didn't even do nothing. They just went and ate some bread on a bridge with everybody. Some little buns from the old girl's shop, from her parents' shop.
Apparently the best bread in town.
Yeah, the best
I
bread in
believe.
town. Something that I did notice that Naho was like in her head doing a monologue and she goes, I really like the curry buns. They're the best curry buns around. But she ended up not getting a curry bun and she was kind of like whatever about it. And Kakeru, the new guy, turns to her and he was like, you want to trade my curry bun for your melon bun? And she was like, oh shit. How did he know that?
I know. Like,
How-
she was all confused about it too. She was like, did I show that I really wanted that? Or
Like, did he read her face? Like, was she really fiending for a curry bun that bad that in her face, like when he had his, he could see it? That part, I wrote it down because I was like, man, what the hell? How did he know that?
it was like he was reading her mind.
He might have. What a creep. He is kind of creepy. We're going to get into a point that I wrote down in the notes. Definitely not something normal, you know? And then here we go. They have buns on the bridge, is what we'll call it, with the new guy. And next thing you know, this dude skipped school for apparently 2 weeks. I thought he died.
I was kind of thinking to myself, I was like, wait, wasn't in the manga it was 1 week? But
Yeah, see,
God knows.
there's going to be subtle differences between the manga and the anime, but I really don't think it's that crazy of a difference. Not off of what I read versus what I saw. Essentially, what I read was episode 1, about halfway. And once, like, aside from the very small details, it was almost word for word.
You understand, like, why he skipped school, though?
Later on?
Yeah.
Okay, because
And
I
probably
thought this...
the next episode or the next 2 episodes.
Okay, good. So a little story
Because
progression
Naho
there.
finds out.
I thought the motherfucker died, and I was like, this is why her ass should not have invited him to go eat buns, because the motherfucker died. He was allergic or something. That's what I thought. And then he just shrugs it off. He's like, nah, I was just ditching school. Motherfucker, who ditches for 2 weeks straight? How did he not even get in trouble?
Transfer student, man.
Do whatever he wants, I guess. He's from the big city. After the buns...
They like have this school.
They're like a big,
festival.
yeah, like a sports festival. So after we see them eating the buns on the bridge, and then we see that Kakeru skipped like 2 fucking weeks of school, there's some kind of like sports tournament happening at their school.
Yeah.
Because
then
everybody was
he's-
playing different sports.
Yeah, Hiruto and Saku were doing soccer where you see Kakeru.
He's just sitting in the
watching.
bleachers, yeah.
And Nahu confronts him and says, oh, why didn't you participate? He was like, well, I did kind of skip school for 2 weeks, so I couldn't do anything.
Yeah, he missed his like sign up deadline or something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
But we also learned that Naho is a pretty good hitter. Like
Softball.
yeah, a hitter. Because when they found out that the other team that the baseball team was playing or the softball team was playing had put in a varsity pitcher,
Varsity, yes.
they asked Naho to go in and be a pinch hitter, I think is what they said.
Yeah, and she was nervous.
She was super nervous, but she knew what was going to happen because of the letter. It refers back to the letter right here.
At first, we see her like saying no, but then like
She didn't want
she was
to.
like, I don't want to regret this, and so she finally stands up for it.
Right, because the letter told her exactly what the pitcher was going to pitch and said, do this
That she
because
would-
I skipped and I regretted it.
And I think,
But her
I
foot
don't
was
know if
also hurt. We
yeah,
also
because
missed
of her
it.
shoe size.
Her shoes
was
were too small, and her and Kakeru talked about this earlier. And in the time frame that her friends are like, hey, go and be a fucking pinch hitter, Kakeru walks up and he's like, well, her foot is hurt. Because in the letter at this point, when she was reading it and it was saying like, you know, go and hit the ball because I didn't do it and I regretted it. The letter also said, and I had to pause at this moment to read it, it says, I fell in love with Kakeru that day. Yeah, I caught that, man. So I was trying to piece it together, which I think maybe in the next scene after she goes and she hits the ball, because she smashes this thing home run. The very next scene is her like sitting kind of on a bench, and Kakeru walks up to her. He's got some kind of like medical
First aid.
Yeah, like okay, first of all, who the fuck walks around with a first aid box?
Well, I think he signed up for the first aid.
Oh, okay. So do they not say that? Do they say that in the manga? Because they didn't say that in the show.
I want to say that.
Unless I missed
I want to
it.
say that they said it in the manga.
Okay.
That he did something with the first aid.
They absolutely overlooked that for the show because I'm like, who the fuck just walks around with a first aid kit all day? So, like, he walks...
See them,
yeah, they're, like, talking. We see his ass kind of walk up with it and talking to her, and he's like, here, let me heal your foot. Takes her foot out of her shoe and goes, oh, you have a burst blister. Let me get this for you, and proceeds to medicate it. That is fucking creep vibes 101. First of all, I ain't trying to touch nobody's nasty ass little feet. Second of all, if I take some chick's sock off and she has a burst blister on her foot, I am putting her shoe right back on. That is disgusting. But perhaps that is the moment she fell in love with him because he did all that for her.
Yeah.
I don't know. It has to be within that day, and that's really the only things that happened that day. He transfers into the school, they had the little curry buns on the bridge, and then he healed her foot at the softball thing, or after the softball thing. There's not a lot of events for her to have fallen in love, you know what I'm saying?
He also did say that you did good, or something like that, with softball. That was a nice hit.
Yeah, I mean, he complimented her hit.
Naho replies, hey, maybe you should try joining the soccer team.
Yes, she does. As he's walking away, she just kind of like, yeah.
And he replies like, maybe I'll try, and also tell Saku that he fucking sucks.
Yeah, Saku sucks, by the way. And that's pretty much right at the end of all the present day shit. And then it cuts to where I thought the episode got the most interesting. And I don't know how different that was from the manga, but this part of the episode, up until this point, I was like, might not be that interested in Orange, but once this shit kicked into gear and the shitty outro song rolled, I was hooked, and I'm like, I need to watch a little more. It shows Naho kind of on like a cliff. Okay, now this is obviously her future self.
Oh, this is when she's 26 years old.
Okay, so definitely in the future, obviously. And she's with a guy. I don't know who the fuck that guy was.
Hiroto. That was Hiroto.
Oh, was it? From the group?
Yes, that was Hiroto from the group. Holding their child.
Did not catch that. Yeah, he was holding their baby. I caught that they had a baby. I just didn't know who the guy was. And he's got flowers, and she goes, who are the flowers for? And he says, they're for Kakeru. And she's like, oh, he won't like that. And one way or another, it comes out that motherfucking Kakeru is dead?
Yeah, Kakeru's dead.
What the fuck? What a way to end an episode with a nice cliffhanger to make me come back for more.
It kind of wants to make you find out how did Kakeru die.
Yes, I want to know what happened. Motherfucker's dead. I thought this motherfucker was dead earlier in the episode when he was just skipping school.
At the beginning, it's like, oh, okay. And then, like, once you get to the end of the chapter, it's like, oh my god, how did this guy die? Because in the letter, at the beginning of the manga, it's like, she's reading the letter, and it tells her to save Kakeru.
Yeah.
Like, while they're in class and introducing the new student, I believe.
It does say that. And obviously this isn't like he didn't die right when she met him, or maybe he did. We actually don't know. This is 26 years later. She could just be visiting a really old gravesite. I have so many questions with that cliffhanger, and that makes me hooked on this show.
I loved it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good. I don't think it's going to be my most beloved show that I've ever watched, but it's obviously going to be better than others that we have watched.
Oh, trust me, it gets better.
And I also want to point out that the outro song is absolute dog shit.
It is. I wish they would have gone with like a sad tone one.
That is a sad song.
It was?
Yes. That's why I said it was shit, because, okay, episode 1 ends with you finding out that Kakeru is dead in the future. Mm-hmm. And then the sad song rolls. So what happens when you have a good episode and it ends on a good note and they're gonna roll this fucking shitty sad song? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna work.
But, like, for us, it probably sounds shitty, but, like, the actual lyrics is probably about the end.
Oh, yeah.
Ties in with the anime.
I didn't think about that.
That's probably why they went with that.
I really didn't think about that. But not bad overall. That is essentially a walkthrough of episode 1.
It is.
It's not too terrible, and I actually prefer podcasting this way.
Yes, I do.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
it makes for... We don't have to go 30 minutes for an episode like this. We can go 20, 25, something like that. It just makes it a little bit snappier, and I feel like you don't have to remember as much when you're just doing it episode by episode.
Yes.
And then once we finish the season and we do the overall podcast for it, that's going to have the rating in it. I thought maybe we would rate each episode and then give a general rating, but I think we just review the episode like, good, or this was just a filler, and And then at the end, when we do the general podcast, that's where we give the rating.
Trust me, there's going to be no filler.
There's no filler at all?
There's no filler.
Oh, that makes me like this a little bit more.
It goes by the letter.
Okay, so everything's going to happen in chronological order of how the letter's saying it. Interesting. Yes. Very interesting.
That's why it makes it so much better than Masamune fucking Kun's Revenge.
Oh, dude, that fucking dog shit show. Hate it.
They could have he could have just revenge, got it over with.
Yeah, episode 1, right? When she's out, standing out the window, screaming or whatever. Could have just went and pushed her out the window. Done. 1 episode anime.
Yeah. Plot twist, he doesn't get his revenge.
Plot twist, he knocks her up and leaves. That's actually terrible advice. Please, if you're listening to this and you're young, never do that. Animag did not tell you to knock a chick up and leave.
It's Asylum never told you to
It's
knock
Asylum
up a chick and leave.
Never told you to do that. Pretty cool. Like I said, overall, I thought this was a solid episode. Had it not been for that very end piece, though, I don't think I would have been as excited as I am to dive into the next episode.
I don't know if like every episode it's going to show bits of the future.
I hope.
Towards the end.
I hope so.
Because at the beginning it showed with all of them there. This anime, it's only focused about, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters. And one of them is a side character. At
the beginning, you mean like for the time capsule scene?
Yeah, it's
was that was in the future?
Yeah, that was in the future.
Oh, I thought that was set in the present and they were digging up the letter that she's reading. Which I guess wouldn't make sense because why would you dig up something from the future? So I don't understand. So it's in the future. What are they digging up? The letter that she wrote to herself from the past?
No, the future, like they buried something, because I don't know if it's like tradition and like some people do.
Well, yeah, a lot of people do time capsules. That's pretty common.
Like they do, like write letters to themselves 10 years later, basically saying, "Oh, hey, 10 years later, me, how are you doing? I hope you doing great," and all. Just basically trying to motivate them.
I get that, but
and see if they became what they wanted to be.
I understand that, but if that's already set in the future, like let's just say when she was having her kid with old boy, like that doesn't make any sense to me because we wouldn't even have any narrative for that far into the future. That's why I thought it was in the present that they were like burying stuff. Because I can't really fucking process it right now. I don't know, man. And if it is in the future, how far in the future was that scene set? That is kind of confusing now.
I think that's when they all are together.
They're together in present day though.
In the towards the end, it's just Naho and Hirito.
Well, yeah, but that's 26 years in the future. They obviously weren't burying that letter 26 years in the future.
Yeah, I know, but like after they meet up with Gain, they go and dig up the time capsule to see what their letters said.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it because I'm lost.
They also look at Kakeru's letter too.
In that scene?
Later on.
Okay.
They're gonna show more of that.
Oh, okay. Okay, that will explain. Okay, you should have just started with that.
Oh, my bad.
That makes more sense because I thought it was just in the present, and then they were like, "Cause here's a letter for Naho," and I was like, "Oh, okay, maybe it's a letter from like when she was super young."
It was like 10 years.
Okay, I'm back on board. I understand it now. Present day that they're opening this capsule, but stuff in I don't know. I'm just gonna confuse everybody. I think that scene could have been drawn out a little bit better, or explained a little bit better, or put more of that scene into
at the very beginning.
Yeah, they should have put more of that scene.
About how she was talking about regrets.
They should have put more of that scene into episode 1. Because that little bit that they gave was just too small of a cock tease and very hard to understand. Or put just fucking shitty text on the screen like 20 years in the future. It's not that hard of a thing to do. You know what? If we were giving these episodes their own ratings, I would probably rate it low for that.
Just for that part?
I'd probably rate it mid-tiered actually because the ending brought it back.
Okay. So kind of like how Masamune-kun.
Yeah. I mean, but that
brought it up.
Yeah. That was too late in the season, though. Even though that one chick saved that whole series, it was just too late at that point. I was so clocked out and ready to not be watching the show anymore.
Yeah, the manga, it gets spicy.
I don't want to fucking read that bullshit on this show. Depending on how Orange goes, I might give it a read. I don't know. And that's it, guys. That is Orange, Season 1, Episode 1. Kind of us walking through it and giving our thoughts.
Can't really
I can't,
really
yeah,
can't predict.
Off of that, there's not much that I can predict will happen. I just don't know.
Because it's based on letters. Like,
exactly.
The letters, we can't be like, because I know damn well what you're going to say. Kakeru's going to die next episode.
Yeah, 100%. Kakeru's in this series, in this season, Kakeru, he's dead. Guarantee it. It's kind of hard.
You think that she's not going to save him?
We saw it 26 years.
Up?
We saw 26 years in the future. She literally said Kakeru's dead.
Yes.
It was a lie?
Her future self gives her a letter to try to save Kakeru.
Okay.
They could still save him.
Oh, well, yeah, this is a romance anime. She's going to save his ass, and then they're going to get married, and then she won't have a baby with her friend. She's going to have a baby with Kakeru. This show kind of does what Rascal did, where when it's doing time jumps, like, okay, now they're showing her in the future, they're not explaining that this is a future that can be rewritten with the present. So when it's her...
They're going to explain that later on.
Okay, god damn it, dude. That's the thing. Like, explain all that in episode 1. That leaves people like me overthinking everything. All right. Well, if they fix it, then good for them. Well, then we'll understand. But honestly, that for how little they put in episode 1, they could have added a lot of shit to help explain a little bit better. Just my thoughts.
And sorry if we got the characters mixed up. I know we didn't get Hiruto, Saku, Naho, and Kakeru. I mean,
Kirikura.
But the other 2 girls, we might have mixed up.
Okay, yeah, probably. Like bread bitch is what I'm going to call that one girl.
Takako and Asusa.
Yeah, whoever the bread lady is. Really and truly, that was the only 3 important characters for this episode anyways. And I guess old boy at the end when he's standing on the cliff with Naho. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, Hiruto Suwa?
Yeah. Whatever. I'm excited for episode 2. I'm excited to see what's going to be going down on this. And we're going to be trying to do these episodes weekly for you guys.
I want to say that the spy character comes in next episode, or maybe the next after.
Okay.
I don't even fucking like that bitch.
God damn.
She's basically...
Oh god, an annoying character.
She's basically like Jace.
Oh my god. That's terrible. Whatever. I'm still excited. I'm also not going to watch the next episode until like the day before we record, just so it's super fresh.
Super fresh, yeah.
Because they're not long episodes. They're only about 20 something minutes, 28 minutes.
Well, that one, they had like, let's say, some things you could take notes on, but then like once they did their friend thing where they cut the music and there was nothing much to do other than just watch it. So
yeah, exactly. Only thing I was really paying attention to was the letter, because that's obviously going to be an important part of the show. And then like I keep thinking about, what if I ever get a letter from my future self?
That's the thing. Would you consider it as a prank, or would you take it serious?
If it's a letter from me to me, I'd take it seriously, because I wouldn't want to fuck myself over. Well, what am I going to do? Like, be like, oh yeah, don't try to date that chick. And then when I'm fucking 28, I'm like, haha, I got myself.
But what if you would have taken it as a joke and then you realize, oh shit, this is actually fucking happening?
Or you mean like if I would get a letter and it's actually from my future self, but I would think that you sent it to me because you're just trying to prank me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. At first, I'd probably be like that. And then you'd be like, I didn't send you a letter. And be like, man, I'm going to beat you up. You better fucking tell me.
You burn it. It's like, oh shit, I should have just fucking...
No, I would take some pictures of it first. I would take pictures of it first just in case. And then I'd burn the actual letter in front of you and then look at your face. And then I'd know.
And then I'd just sit there with a straight face. I'd be like,
oh, bro, I really didn't send that to you. Well, all right, guys, that was our episode, and we told you that we would be back doing this again. We got some exciting stuff coming the rest of the season, and then obviously by the time we finish this, if we stay on track and on pace, by the time we finish this, it'll be time for Rent a Girlfriend, baby! Chase a row! I'm coming, baby. And we also might have some new stuff coming to the website pretty soon. We might have got a new employee. Yeah.
He's probably shitting his pants right now.
Yeah, Mr. Xavier is going to be doing a trial. He has to make me a wallpaper. And if the wallpaper's really good, if it's sexy enough and I want to use it, he's going to get a job with Animag, and he's going to become our new wallpaper creator. And we're going to have a new section on the site where you can go to it and see all of our official Animag created wallpapers with all of your beloved characters. But also, if it's shit, shit, I'm also not going to take him on. He can go back to the shitty podcast that he's from.
You better not fuck up.
Better not fuck up. Oh, yeah, because I told him I wanted a good Chizuru background. And then I showed him the one that I have right now, and he was like,
good at drawing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he drew on his freaking PlayStation 4, and it came out freaking nice.
Oh, sick. Okay. We might have some use for him after all. He also, like, pointed out something that I could fix on the site, which was very helpful. No one else said that was an issue, or like signing up was a little bit more complicated than I thought it was. And he was like, those 4 blocks at the bottom that say like forums, Discord, wall, and whatever else that 4th one is, he said I should take one of those out, like take the wall one out and replace it with sign up. Yeah. So people can know that you can. That's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
Because he said he tried to sign up. And he clicked sign in, because that's how you do it right now. You click sign in, and then underneath the sign in area, it'll say create an account. But he was like, you need to put a button on the home page so it's just right there, and people know they can make an account. So yeah, we're going to do that. I might work on that tomorrow.
Because episode 4, oh my god, y'all fucking
smashing it, dude. It's like, what, 17K?
17K?
And counting.
Oh, shit.
We've been doing like 4 or 5K a day for the past like 2 to 3 days. And if it hits 20K, Xavier is going to give us a video admitting finally who the greatest anime podcast of all time is.
And I just hope that there's a convention, an anime convention that we'll actually be able to go to together.
Yeah, that would be cool. We could all have our little Animag shirts on. So I'll probably work on that pretty soon too, like beanies, shirts, maybe some hoodies.
Merch?
Yeah, merch, man.
Ooh,
merch.
You heard it here first.
Oh, I got to start kind of working on the back end of a store for the website, but for the most part, I'm really getting ready to start doing some sampling for merch, like sending out some designs and having them send me like sample products. I really want a black polo with Animag embroidered onto the like chest or maybe on the sleeve. I want beanies like that. Plain t-shirts just with the white Animag name and then with the blue Animag. I don't know. I don't want it to say too much here on the podcast because we're already over time, but just know that is also in the works. There's a lot going on for Animag right now, and it's only going to get crazier when Rent a Girlfriend kicks off.
This podcast is going to be this week, right?
Yes. This podcast, by the time you're hearing it, should be this upcoming Friday.
Okay, so
we are back on a weekly schedule, which means even
though episode 4 did not come out on my channel.
That's the thing, dude. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for uploading, because now I gotta take that video, upload it to the official Animag YouTube, upload it to our Facebook, and then I'll probably embed it from the channel onto the post on the website just for a little extra. I mean, it's no different from listening to the audio post that's already on the page, but it's just a little extra.
A little extra for people that never heard of Animag, the number one anime
podcast in the world globally. Just step aside, Joe Rogan. What do you know about anime? Nothing. He hears this and then he starts an anime podcast because he's pissed off. What do you know about anime, Charlie? A lot, actually. Actually quite enjoy the official podcast when they do anime episodes. But anyways, I don't want to plug too many. I'll let their name slide because they're already fucking super popular. Yeah, some people get the bleep, some people don't. It just depends. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We will see you next week for episode 2.
Sayonara.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to visit our website at www.animag.org. See you next time.